Tony only drew a golden ingot in a book, but when he handed the book back to the girl, a real gold ingot fell out the next second. Back in his room, he drew a gold bar, but his girlfriend disliked the drawing and tossed it out the window. Yet, that throw triggered a rain of gold. Bystanders swarmed to snatch the falling treasure. Turns out Tony possessed a magic pen that could bring drawings to life, though he had no idea at all. The pen was once the tool of a celestial spirit. After escaping to the human world, the spirit hid itself in the pen Tony used for painting, but Tony knew nothing about it, still worried about his sister's medical bills. Until one day, his friend brought exciting news. A millionaire's Tibetan Mastiff had gone missing. A 1 million yuan reward was offered for someone who could draw it accurately. Tony was immediately tempted. If he could do a good job, he might finally get money for his sister's treatment. He hurried to the mansion and began studying photos of the dog as a puppy when he noticed a golden lock hanging from its neck. While waiting for the heiress to arrive, Tony secretly sketched the lock. But just as he finished, the butler and the heiress walked in. The butler was furious, scolding Tony for touching things without permission, and ordered him to be thrown out. When the heiress saw he had drawn the dog's gold lock, she immediately tore it off the painting and told the butler to throw it away. But the next second, a real gold lock fell out from the painting. They were all shocked, and the heiress noticed that the lock matched exactly with the one her dog used to wear. Even the crack on the side was the same. The butler also realized the lock in the painting had vanished. The heiress became curious and ordered that this painter be found at all costs. Meanwhile, top artists from across the region were gathering at the villa, all competing for the chance to draw the Tibetan Mastiff and win the 1 million yuan reward. The butler seized the opportunity to search for the man who had drawn the lock. But since he hadn't seen Tony clearly before, he had no idea what he looked like. A rich playboy nearby misunderstood the heiress's intentions and thought she wanted to punish the artist. He quickly pushed Tony forward as a scapegoat. Unexpectedly, the butler said. The heiress was actually impressed by the golden lock drawing and asked Tony if he was the one who drew it. Seeing Tony stay silent, the playboy kicked him, then claimed he was the one who drew it, but hadn't admitted it earlier. Out of fear, the butler told him to prove it by drawing it again. The playboy had no choice but to sit down and start sketching. The heiress soon arrived in a hurry. When the playboy showed her his finished drawing, she instantly recognized that it wasn't by the same person. However, she didn't expose him on the spot. Instead, she quietly told the butler that if the original artist didn't want to come forward, let him be. After all, he had just turned a drawing into reality. Why not have him draw the lost Tibetan Mastiff as well? To find the man with the magic pen quickly, the butler launched the dog portrait challenge. But during the pen selection phase, the playboy played dirty again, pushing Tony to the end of the line. Then he broke the last remaining pen on purpose. This move forced Tony to use his own magical pen. The competition began. Everyone gave it their all, trying to win the 1 million yuan prize. The butler walked around and announced that all participants must write their